If you have not registered for the seminar I'm hosting at the end of this month, Navigating Grief Through the Holidays, it is a free seminar, but you have to register. So make sure you register for that. We're going to jump right into it. Okay, your children, they don't just inherit your features, but they inherit your nervous system. Okay, if you don't heal your trauma, your children will have to heal from you. See if I can turn down this a little bit so the reflection isn't as bad. Okay, if you don't heal your trauma, your children are going to have to heal from you. I want you all to picture this: a 6-year-old little girl or a little boy, whatever you prefer. 6-year-old little girl. She's hiding under her covers because her mom and dad are fighting once again. She doesn't know who's right. All she knows is that she doesn't feel safe. Okay? One day she ends up growing up and then she starts to call chaos home. So tonight it's not about making you feel guilty. Okay? It's about breaking the cycles that broke us. That's what tonight is all about. Breaking the cycles that broke you before you break your child. All right? Drop I'm breaking it in the comments. If you refuse to pass it on to your children, just type I'm breaking it in the comments. Okay? My name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach for high achieving women who look flawless on the outside, but on the inside, they are crumbling. They are a mess and they feel like they can't admit it to anybody. They are stressed out, okay, on the edge. I help them unlock their clarity, peace, and emotional freedom. Okay? I'm sitting here staring at TikTok. Let me focus here. Okay, I help them unlock their clarity, peace, and emotional freedom. I also created the 7-day clarity reset. All right, it's a guided experience. It's going to help you rewire your nervous system. I'm going to help you step out of survival mode, and you're going to finally feel peace and safety again. Okay, tonight, this evening, what is 6:30? This evening, we're talking about how trauma affects your children. So, my mission tonight is to help you recognize how unhealed pain leaks into your parenting, your communication, and even your silence. Okay. And I'm going to help you stop the inheritance of this dysfunction. You should not be passing this from generation to generation. All right. I apologize. So let's get something straight before we start. Trauma isn't just what happened to you. What happened on the inside of you and what's happening now through you. Okay, so when we talk about trauma, this is what we mean. Trauma doesn't just live in memories, it lives inside of your body. I keep saying that. Y'all heard me say it time and time again. Trauma gets trapped in your body. Even when you try to suppress it, even when you don't want to admit it, even when you want to walk around saying you're good, trauma is trapped inside of the body. Okay? If it's not processed, it will be passed down. It doesn't need your permission. Thank you. Your child does not have to experience trauma to be affected by it. Okay? They will literally inherit your emotional blueprint if you do not heal. Are you all understanding? It's quiet, but okay, I'm gonna keep going. So every time your body goes into fights, flight, freeze, or fawn mode, your child's nervous system sees this as normal, picks it up as normal. Okay, babies, when we're talking about babies, they don't just learn language, they learn energy. They know when something is off. Y'all know a child, a baby knows when something is off. They can sense anxiety. They can sense when something isn't right. This is why they start crying sometimes and you can't get them to stop. You're trying to figure out what's going on. They're picking up on the atmosphere. All right. Even before they can talk. Okay. So if your peace isn't consistent, Your child's body is going to learn to live in alert mode. They're going to be constantly reading the room, scanning for threats instead of being able to rest. All right. So there was a mom who said, well, I never yelled at my daughter, but she still flinches when I sigh. Okay. This is what emotional inheritance looks like. Let me move this camera over closer to this one so I can. This is what emotional inheritance looks like. It's not always a specific event, sometimes it is the environment. Think about what environment you're cultivating or you have cultivated in your house, okay, in your home. What kind of environment is it? Your children aren't just watching you, they are absorbing you. Children are sponges, okay? And what you don't heal, they are going to normalize. So, an unhealed parent or unhealed parents, they don't just hurt children, they raise children who mistake anxiety for responsibility. Okay. I want you all, if you're able to type in the chat, type one emotion that your household taught you was normal as a child, even if it wasn't healthy. So for some people, it was anger. They just grew up in an angry household, just people just mad, parents just mad, arguing loud for no reason. Some people grew up in silence. Others grew up in fear. They were taught fear. Others were taught control. Drop it in the chat, even if you're catching the replay. Drop in the chat what you learned in your household, even if it wasn't healthy. Okay? I'm not even going to wait. Y'all so quiet tonight. I'm going to just keep it moving. All right. So now that we understand how this trauma gets passed down, we're going to talk about what this looks like in real time, how your reactions, your silence, your coping styles are quietly teaching your children what love and safety feels like. You all should send this to some parents, expecting parents, adoptive parents, foster parents. Share this out to them. We're going to start off talking about how, well, we're not starting off, but we're about to talk about how unhealed parents accidentally recreate their past. Okay? Again, I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm not trying to shame you, but I have to call this stuff out so you can stop repeating the patterns. Hello? Some of you, you don't even realize you're repeating it, but you are. And it's not because you're a bad parent. You're not a bad mom. You're not a bad dad. Okay? You're wounded. And until you address the wound, this thing is not going to break. So your inner child becomes the invisible parent in the room. Okay? Your inner child is the one that's reacting, controlling, avoiding, and overcompensating when you get triggered. I'm about to give you 3 archetypes of unhealed parenting. You need to be writing this down if you're able to take notes. If not, come back and watch the replay. Okay? The 3 archetypes of unhealed parenting. Number 1 is the fixer. The fixer, that's the overcompensator. The parent who's always overcompensating. The fixer. You're constantly rescuing, overdoing, or trying to protect your children from pain. This is what your hidden wound sounds like. Well, I'm just trying to give them the childhood that I never had. That's your excuse, okay? You're accidentally robbing your child of emotional resilience. Okay? You're so busy trying to protect them from pain that you're also protecting them from growth. I'll just let that sizzle for a minute. I'm going to try to go through this pretty quick. Okay? You're so busy trying to protect them from pain that you're also protecting them from growth. You're the parent that you clean up every mess, you mediate every argument, And then the child starts to learn. I'm going to just use a mom as an example. So now the child starts to learn, well, I can't handle anything unless my mama steps in. Baby, this is not cute. This is not cute. This is not good. God bless any adult that has to deal with them when they grow up if you don't change. But this is what's happening, okay? So that's the fixer, the overcompensator. Then we have number 2, the avoider. This is the one that's emotionally distant, okay? So you're physically present as a parent, but emotionally you've checked out. And your excuse, your hidden wound was, well, silence was safety in my house. So now I just shut down instead of speaking up. I just want to keep the peace so I don't say anything. Still not good. Still not good, avoider. Okay. Now you're teaching your child that love is quiet. It's quiet, it's inconsistent, and it's confusing. This is what you're passing on to your child. Okay. You're calling it peace, but silence is teaching them disconnection. Okay. Are you all enjoying this? So when your baby starts crying, you freeze up. You don't know how to comfort them because nobody ever comforted you when you were a child, when you were a baby. All right. So that's number 2, the avoider. Number 3 is the controller. This is the fear-based parent. This parent is overly strict, quite reactive, and tries to manage every little thing. Your hidden wound, aka your excuse, it sounds like this. Well, I grew up in chaos, so control makes me feel safe. You just have to be in control. Okay. Your child is learning that love is earned through performance or perfection when you're like this. Okay. Your rules, they're rooted in fear, not structure. You want your child to be afraid of you. You're parenting from a place of protection and not preparation. This parent also mistakes obedience for emotional health. Not the same thing. And your child tends to behave because they are literally terrified of disappointing you. They're terrified to get it wrong. They're terrified to be human, basically. You pretty much make them feel like they have to be perfect. All right, so if you're just coming in, make sure you catch the replay. All right, all 3 of these patterns, they come from the same wound, trying to control what once controlled you. But you cannot parent from a place of protection and expect connection. It's just not going to happen. I hope you all are getting this. So even if you're catching the replay, you can drop in the chat if you're okay with that, which one you fall under, if you fall under any, if you fall under any of them. Are you the fixer? Are you the avoider? Or are you the controller? Okay. Awareness is great. It's not guilt. You're not your mother. You're not your father. You're not your grandmother. You're not your grandfather. Whoever raised you, you're not them. Okay. You are the curse breaker, period. You're the one that's going to break the cycle. So let's talk about what it actually looks like to stop passing down pain. What does it look like to actually teach your children that peace is not just with words, but with your presence? Hello? Let me reset the room really quick. If you're just joining, my name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach. Today we are talking about trauma that is passed down, unhealed trauma, and how it's passed down to your children. Okay? I'm trying to teach you how to stop bleeding on your babies. Blink, blink, blink. All right. So you can drop cycle breaker in the chat if you're ready to change what your children inherit. Okay. You're not too late. I don't care where you are. I don't care how old your kids are, baby. It's not too late. As long as you have breath in your body, it's not too late. So let's talk about what it looks like to reparent your children by first reparenting yourself. Because you can't teach peace if your nervous system doesn't know it, has never known it. How can you teach it? I'm going to give you the 4-step healing framework. You can even call it the reparenting reset for those of you that are taking notes. It is a 4-step healing framework, but you can call it the reparenting reset. Okay? Step 1 is awareness. You have to see the pattern without shame. You cannot heal what you keep hiding. You cannot heal what you're pretending it doesn't exist. It's not even there. You can't heal like that. So you have to learn how to recognize your triggers before turning around and just blaming your child's behavior. Okay? So when your child triggers you, I need you to stop and say it to yourself. This isn't about them. It's about something that makes me feel unsafe. It's something that still makes me feel unsafe. You have to figure that out, okay? When your child does something that frustrates you, pause, ask yourself, what is this moment reminding me of? Because, baby, why are you snapping like this? Why are you crashing out like this? I remember being at a family, it was like a family dinner one year, and one of my cousins, which that's just how she, no, that's not just how she is. She has unhealed trauma. But her nephew grabbed like a piece of chicken or something. He had washed his hands, but she didn't see him. When I tell you the way she hollered and snapped at him, and everybody was like, he washed his hands. And she was just like, oh, she didn't apologize or anything. When you're snapping like that, you need to stop and figure out, why am I triggered like this? Okay. So step 1 is awareness. Step 2 is responsibility. You have to choose to respond differently. It is not your fault. Whatever happened to you, that wasn't your fault. That was out of your control. But it's your assignment to change the pattern. Okay. So we're not talking about you just sitting and blaming your parents. I get it. They did whatever they did. But baby, you have to heal. You have to heal. Okay. You owe your children healing. So there's a big difference between reacting from pain and responding from presence. Write that down. There's a big difference between reacting from pain and responding from presence. When you react from pain, your brain is still in survival mode. I know you're great, you're grand, there's nothing wrong with you. I'm just talking to who I'm talking to. When you react from pain, your brain is still in survival mode. Your body thinks it's in danger, even if you're just being disrespected, ignored, or triggered, your body is picking this up as danger. So you start yelling, you shouting, you withdraw. Okay, you shut down, not because you're mean, but because your nervous system is saying, protect me, protect me, protect me. Okay. When you respond from presence, when you learn how to do that, that is a learned behavior. When you respond from presence, your brain is calm. Some of you don't even know what that feels like. Your brain is calm. At this point, you're not trying to win. You're not trying to win the argument. You're not trying to be in control. You're not trying to prove anything. You're just trying to connect. Okay. You can use this framework in other relationships, but tonight we're talking about children. So at this point, you're just trying to connect with your child. All right. This is emotional maturity in action. So from reacting from pain, when you react from pain, you're saying, I need to protect myself. When you learn how to react from a place of presence, You're saying, I choose to protect this relationship. Do you understand? All right, so let me give you an example of reacting from pain. Your child spills their juice, their soda, their drink, whatever. You go off, you explode. You go from 0 to 1.5 thousand, just like that. Didn't I tell you not to? Didn't I tell you to stop being careless? Didn't I tell you to be careful? You just snapping, okay? But underneath that reaction is actually a wound. It's a wound that's whispering, I was punished for my mistakes, so now I'm going to punish you for your mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, okay? Same example, you responding from a place of presence. Your child spills the juice, you're going to pause, you're going to breathe, and you're going to say, it's okay, let's clean it up together. Do you see the difference? When you respond from presence, you're teaching your child that mistakes are a part of learning, not reasons for me to reject you. All right. So think about the last time you overreacted. Think about it. I'm going to give you a few seconds. Think about the last time you spazzed out, crashed out, overreacted. Now, pause and ask yourself, was I reacting to what happened in that moment, or to something that I never healed from way back when? Mm-hmm. Mm, mm. Write that down. Every time you choose presence over pain, you're reparenting yourself and your child, okay? Write this down. Peaceful parenting starts when you stop parenting from panic. I'll say it again. Peaceful parenting starts when you stop parenting from panic. And I'm going to say this because I keep hearing it. Stop taking your frustration with your spouse, your baby daddy, your baby mama out on those kids. You mad at that man, you mad at that woman. Now you putting these kids through hell. Baby, you chose that man. You chose that woman. Hello? Stop making these kids pay for your choices. All right. I don't know who that's for. Okay. When your child starts crying, remember I mentioned that earlier about the child crying. When your child starts to cry, instead of yelling at them, stop all that crying. Shut up. Da da da. Try saying, you're safe. I'm here. See what kind of reaction you get instead of yelling. This way, you're teaching peace to your child's body and their mind. Okay? Where we at? Step 3. So I'm giving you a 4-step framework. This is step 3, regulation. You have to rebuild emotional safety. Okay, so peace isn't just taught by words, it's transmitted through nervous systems. When you regulate, your child co regulates. Okay, so breath work, silence, prayer, grounding, these aren't just self care luxuries, these are generational strategies that you really should be passing down. All right, so let's do this together. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose. You're going to exhale out of your mouth, okay? Take a deep breath in and release it. Unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders. We're going to do it again. Take a deep breath in and release. Y'all, that's what healing sounds like to a child. Calm, not chaos. Okay? And step four, reparenting. You have to create a new normal. You can't keep parenting from your past and expect your home to feel like your future. I know you do a lot of talking, but it's time for you to walk this thing out. You can't keep reparenting from your past and expect your home to feel like a future. I don't care how much you decree, you declare, you speak these affirmations, baby, you have to put this stuff in action, okay? So reparenting is, I'm sorry, repattering is practicing new emotional habits until they feel natural. Okay, you may feel funny at first, but you'll be all right. As you continue to practice these steps and be intentional about your healing, it's going to happen naturally. It's going to come out naturally. It's going to be just like breathing. You don't think about breathing, you just do it. That's what's going to happen when you practice these 4 steps over and over. So, step one, again, is awareness. Okay. Step one, awareness. Step two, responsibility. Step three is regulation. Step four, repatterning. All right. So, an example of repatterning, try replacing all of this screaming, yelling, and spazzing out. Replace all of that with pauses. Stop and think. You know, they say stop, drop, and roll. Stop, breathe, think. Replace silence. Those of you that may be a silent parent, no, you gotta start talking, okay? Replace it with gentle truths. Gentle. Like I said, don't be trying to tear your kids down because you mad at that man that you decided to have kids with or that woman. All right. So this week, every time you feel triggered, I want you to practice saying this. I'm not who I was, and my child doesn't deserve who I was. Whenever you feel triggered, say, I'm not who I was, and my child doesn't deserve who I was. All right? Write this down. Stop expecting your child to heal from what you refuse to confront. I'll say it again. Stop expecting your child to heal from what you refuse to confront. You want to pretend like it's not there, but you're expecting your child to heal from it. I'm not sure how that works. I don't know. Please stop that. When you heal, your home changes temperature. Okay, the atmosphere is going to shift. What once felt like tension is going to start to feel like safety. Who wants to feel unsafe in their own home? All right. And some of you, you think, oh, it's a child, they'll just get over it. That is such an ignorant statement to make. Okay. So your healing, it won't just bless your children, but it will retrain their DNA for peace. All right. So if that is you and you're going to break the cycle, type I'm breaking the cycle in the chat. Even if you're catching this on replay, type it in the chat. I'm breaking the cycle. So now that you know how to rebuild peace at home, we're going to anchor this in your heart. We're going to speak healing. Okay. We're going to speak healing over your home, your lineage, your motherhood, your fatherhood, whoever's watching me. All right. Take another deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. All right. You've already done the hard work. Stop saying, oh, this is so hard. This is so hard. You did the hard work. You showed up. You stayed through this video. You watched the replay. That's the hardest part. Okay. So now we're going to speak this healing into your lineage. Okay. This is where awareness becomes alignment. You already know I have affirmations. Why? Because the power of life and death lies in your tongue. So repeat after me. And I think I have a bit more than normal tonight. Okay. Repeat after me. I am not my mother's mistakes. I am not my mother's mistakes. I am not my father's mistakes. I am not my father's mistakes. I am rewriting the story with grace, not guilt. I'm rewriting my story with grace, not guilt. My children will not need to heal from my silence. My children will not need to heal from me. I am the first healed generation in my family. I'm the first healed generation in my family. My peace teaches my children what safety feels like. My peace teaches my children what safety feels like. I respond from presence, not panic. I respond from presence, not panic. My home learns calm because I choose calm. My home learns calm because I choose calm. The bloodline breaks me. Sorry, the bloodline breaks with me, but the blessings begin with me. The bloodline breaks with me, but the blessings begin with me. My children inherit wholeness because I choose to heal. My children inherit wholeness because I choose to heal. Every day I parent from power, not from pain. Every day I parent from power, not from pain. I am a healed home in human form. I am a healed home in human form. All right. So even if you don't have children yet, but you know that you're breaking the cycles in your bloodline, you can still start declaring these affirmations. Okay. We're going to do a quick visualization exercise. I want you to picture your child, the current children you have, or your future children. I want you to picture, close your eyes, picture them in your mind, watching you heal. Probably should have kept the lights on. Picture your current children or your future children watching you heal. See them smiling, not being afraid of you. They're learning from your peace. You are becoming the parent you needed and the protector they deserve. I want you all to see it. And you can even drop in the chat or under the video during the replay. You can even drop, like, how does it make you feel when you did that? How did it make you feel when you did that visualization exercise? Okay. So we're almost done. We've declared it with our words. We're going to make it real in real life. I'm going to tell you what the next step is in your healing journey, because cycles just don't break through awareness. Cycles are not going to break from you watching a video one time, okay? You have to repeat these actions, all right? So take another deep breath. I just like taking deep breaths. Okay, so what you felt tonight, this was awareness, the conviction, the hope. All of that is your spirit saying, I am ready to break the pattern. Some of you are like, girl, I'm past ready. What's up? So don't let this moment fade, okay? Your children don't need a perfect parent. Remember this, they don't need a perfect parent. They just need a present one and a healed one, not a perfect one, okay? And the only way to stay present is to finally heal the parts of you that keep pulling you back into your past. So, two things. Step one is going to be my clarity reset. All right. I'll walk you through a 7-day detox to rewire your nervous system, calm your body, and it's going to help you to stop parenting from a place of panic. Okay. If you're ready to stop reacting from these wounds that you have and to start leading from a place of peace, this is the reset that you've been praying for, that you've been waiting for, that you've been searching for. This is the reset you've been trying to manifest. This is it. Okay? Let me drop the link in the chat. So the links are always, what time is it? The links are always, not me repeating myself, under my videos. But let me drop it really quick in the chat. And I'll try to remember to leave a comment also under this video when I'm done. For those of you that know you need it and you're tired of procrastinating, one day you'll get tired of all of the excuses. Okay? Got the link. Pull up the YouTuberations. TikTok, you would have to DM me. TikTok, you're going to have to DM me. Shout out to everybody on TikTok that's just watching me from the hallway. I think that's what they call it. You're just watching from the hall. Like, I'm not going to click into her room. I'm going to just sit here so she don't know I'm watching her. Y'all are hilarious. Where am I trying to go? I went to the wrong place, y'all. Let me drop the link in the chat for YouTube. Some of us can't chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. That's probably me. Okay, so that's the link for the clarity reset. For those of you who know you need that, that's your next step. Okay. And then if you know your patterns run super deep and the clarity reset alone will not be enough for you, if you've been saying, I need somebody to walk this out with me, I feel like I can't do it on my own, you need to sign up for Breakthrough Mastery. You have to apply for it. You would have to apply for Breakthrough Mastery. So that's my 12-week experience, okay? 12 weeks of deep private coaching will rebuild your peace, your mindset, and your emotional control from the inside out. But baby, this is not surface level healing. This is generational restoration, okay? You've survived long enough. It's time for you to thrive. It's time for you to master your breakthrough. But this is only for women who are serious. I do not like my time wasted, and I'm sure you don't like yours wasted, because who has time to waste time? Let me drop the link in the chat for those that want that. TikTok, you would have to DM me. You can DM me the word mastery on TikTok if you want that. Again, that's only for people who are serious. That's why you have to apply. Okay? You'll be accepted if I see that you're a good fit. If not, you're going to get all of your money back. Okay? For the breakthrough mastery. All right? So let's seal this moment together. I'm glad I finished early tonight. I haven't eaten all day, and my dinner is literally sitting there looking at me. Okay, I'm hungry. Stomach growling and all. So let's seal this. Place your hand on your heart. Place your hand on your heart and say this with me. The cycle ends with me, but peace begins with us. Say it again. The cycle ends with me, but peace begins with us. Baby, one thing I'm going to do is break the cycle before I leave this earth. Do you hear me? You need to make up your mind to do the same thing. All right? Don't keep this to yourself. Share this with another. Share this live. Share this live. Share this video with another woman or man who's trying to love their children while still healing from their own mother or father. Okay, I know sometimes it's like a tug of war, but it can be done. My replays are always available on my YouTube page. You can come back, take notes, just make sure you hit the live tab to find it. And I need you all to remember this: real love doesn't come from a place. The alerts that I get, real love doesn't come from perfection, you all. It doesn't come from perfection. It comes from presence over perfection. Okay. Peace is not inherited, it's cultivated. You have to cultivate it. Your reset starts tonight and your healing starts with you. No more excuses. No more excuses. No more blaming everybody and what they did to you. All right. Make a decision. Grab the clarity reset. Thank you for joining me tonight. I will see you all tomorrow.